What if I told you you could equally score thousands of CVs against your job requirements in minutes before your morning coffee gets cold? Today's episode of Popp the Hood, we're going to show you how you can screen thousands of CVs using Popp's Analysis API. If you're hiring for a role, you get hundreds, if not thousands, of CVs coming in. Manually equally reviewing each one of those just doesn't scale. Popp's Analysis API lets you define your job requirements, upload CVs programmatically, and get every candidate scored automatically. And the best part, if your requirements change, maybe your candidate pool is too big or too small, you can just update those requirements and every candidate gets rescreened instantly, no re-uploading, no starting over. First, we create an analysis. We give it a title, a job description, and our requirements. Each requirement has a text description, and then you can mark them as mandatory or not mandatory. Now, if it's marked as mandatory and they don't meet that requirement, they can be filtered by if they have met all the requirements or they haven't. Another requirement field is the weight field. This allows you to mark the significance of a requirement affecting the score. The higher the weight, the more important it is. For each CV, we'll call the candidate's endpoint with the analysis ID and the document, either as a URL or base64 encoded string. In practice, we've seen it's quite popular to loop through all your CVs and fire these off. Let's say we want to add 50 candidates. We can loop through those in something like Python or JavaScript, just sending each request off with the first name, last name, and the document URL. Each candidate gets scored against our requirements asynchronously. Here's where things get really powerful. Let's say after reviewing the initial results, you realize your pool is too large. You want to add another requirement, or maybe you set something as mandatory that really shouldn't be. Here, you can just update the requirements and re-analyze via the update requirements and re-analyze URL. Notice we're passing existing requirements with their IDs to keep them in, and adding a new one without an ID. Any requirements you leave out will get removed once you send this request. And once you send this request, every single candidate is automatically rescreened against the updated requirement. You can see the candidate counts have updated with candidates requirements met count and the not met count here. This is reflected based on those new requirements we just sent. That's it. 3 API calls to go from a stack of CVs to your own scored and personally ranked shortlist. You can now iterate on your own requirements as many times as you need without having to start over. Check out the Popp API docs to get started. In future videos, we'll dive deeper into how scoring works and how you can even push results via your ATS.